Tiny homes, shed conversions, prefab cottages, and barndominiums are more popular than ever. But can you build or park one on land where mobile homes aren't allowed? This is a common question, and the answer isn't always straightforward. Let's break it down so you can better understand how zoning and land use rules apply and how to find out what's allowed on your property or future dream site. First things first, what counts as a tiny home? Tiny homes come in many forms. THOWs, tiny homes on wheels, prefab or modular homes delivered to your land, converted sheds or garages, barndominiums, which are metal or pole frame buildings turned into homes. While they may all look tiny or non-traditional, how they're built, placed, and used determines how they're legally classified. Why zoning rules matter. Every city or county has zoning districts, rules that control what kind of buildings are allowed on a piece of land. These rules are often very specific, and some zones prohibit mobile homes, manufactured housing, or non-permanent structures. But here's the key point. Just because a tiny home is not a mobile home doesn't automatically mean it's allowed. Zoning laws focus on how the structure is built, on-site versus factory built, how it is anchored to the land, permanent foundation versus on wheels, how it's used, full-time residence versus vacation or backyard cottage, whether it meets local building and safety codes. If mobile homes aren't allowed, are tiny homes? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Here's how it typically breaks down. A tiny home is allowed in an area that doesn't permit mobile homes if the following conditions are met. Your tiny home is permanently installed on a foundation. It's built to meet IRC, International Residential Code, or local building codes. It has required utility hookups, water, sewer, septic, electricity. It's treated as a primary dwelling or ADU, accessory dwelling unit, on a lot zoned for residential use. However, a tiny home is not allowed if it's on wheels and considered a recreational vehicle or mobile unit. It's too small to meet minimum square footage requirements. Some areas require 600 to 1,000 plus square feet for new builds. It doesn't have permanent utility connections or a certificate of occupancy. It's in a zone that prohibits non-traditional or alternative dwellings. Important note, many prefab or modular homes allowed where mobile homes are not, but only if they're installed on a permanent foundation and meet local requirements. What departments should you contact? Before buying land or placing any kind of home, it's essential to check with local authorities. Start with city or county, Planning and Zoning Department. Ask what zoning district your property falls under. Request the permitted uses in that zone, residential, agricultural, commercial, etc. Ask whether mobile homes, modular homes, or tiny homes are allowed. Ask about minimum size requirements, setbacks, and foundation rules. Building Department or Code Enforcement. Find out what building codes your structure must meet. Ask whether they accept modular homes or shed-to-home conversions. Request information on permits, inspections, and occupancy requirements. Health Department for septic approval. If you won't be on city sewer, you'll need approval for a septic system. They'll evaluate whether your land perks for septic use. Public Works or Utilities Department. Ask about water, electric, and gas hookup availability or fees. Other common restrictions to watch out for. HOAs, homeowners associations, may ban tiny homes, ADUs, or any home under a certain size. Minimum dwelling size laws can block tiny homes under 600 to 1,000 square feet. Deed restrictions or covenants may limit what type of home you can build. Flood zones or environmentally sensitive areas may require special permitting. Road access and emergency vehicle access rules can apply, especially in rural areas. Tips before you buy or build. Always get zoning and code rules in writing before making big decisions. Don't assume rural land equals no rules. Counties still regulate building and land use. Look for properties with a zoning designation like rural residential, residential agricultural, or unrestricted, but verify. If you're working with a prefab or modular home company, ask if they offer permit assistance or pre-approved designs. Keep in mind that tiny homes can offer freedom, affordability, and creative living. But zoning laws don't always keep up with the trend. If mobile homes aren't allowed in your area, you might still be able to place a tiny home, shed conversion, or prefab house, as long as it meets building codes and is properly permitted. The key is doing your homework early and contacting the right departments before you commit.